has to get that reset and see what they can do for the draft, because I feel like when it comes to the draft, it will really heavily rely on trying to shut down Gemini's early game to have more space or have more leeway when it comes to having that control when the game begins.
So let's see now, as it's going to be Machi on blue side. Like I mentioned before the break, Berjaya ended up going to the red side for this time around. They did have side selection as they were the loser in game one. It's going to be Machi, though. Still looks like to be the respect bans coming out, as it's not going to be a rumble allowed from now on, and Berjaya have to ban out the Ophelos on red.
Yeah, for Berjaya, the Syndra has been quite popular at the initial phases of the PCS. Unfortunately, it didn't really pan out considering Mission was on that Corki, was not able to roam. There was one teleport though. But after that, it was Gemini laying on the pressure with the Rek'Sai. So now, what does Enzo do? What does Berjaya do? Do they want to prioritize and first pick that Rek'Sai rather, just for Enzo, as it's his most picked champion in the regular split?
Well, it depends. You could also have Machi that just go ahead and take it away here, as that's now going to be the Varus being locked out on the side of Machi, as well as the set. Kalista, Senna, and Felios, all the bot lane marksmen you could be asking for, and that does mean, as far as, you know, tier lists go, your next option here for Machi is just going to be Bruce picking up the Misfortune.
Yeah, he had a really stellar performance on the Misfortune as well. You can tell how excited Bruce is when it came to the kills, really moving and pushing forward just to get those autos in. For Berjaya though, they'll be comfy getting that Ezreal once more if they do want to lock this in early, unless Machi Esports decides to ban that out for when Berjaya manages or decides to pick it up at the second picking phase, which is kind of scary.
We'll see here though. Berjaya, they themselves might go ahead and just lock in the Orin, maybe want to have that extra bit of team fight power with that wombo combo coming out from the Call of the Forge God and try to take that one away from PK.
Yeah, I think the beautiful thing about the Dragons is that they have a lot of choices when it comes to taking off in the game. Ozzy had a wonderful Mordekaiser game. If ever, you know, K2 has been very stellar when it comes to just hiding on this Ezreal and with that pokes. And Formawan also had really prime either Renekton and Aatrox games in the mid lane. So with that, for Berjaya, the selection, it will really heavily rely on what Enzo decides to pick up, and looks like that's another Rek'Sai for Gemini.
Yeah, it looks like the Rek'Sai is just going to go on over. So unfortunately, for Berjaya, Enzo is going to have to fall back possibly onto that Jarvan once more. We'll have to see here, as the Rek'Sai getting locked in for Machi, and now they can look toward possibly their support pickup. Maybe want to try and lock in that Braum to deny that Call of the Forge God, as well as prevent it from being used against you on that Misfortune. But no, maybe just putting some heavy priority onto possibly this Aatrox.
If it's going to be for PK, he hasn't really played a lot of Aatrox. His most played is definitely the Renekton and as well as the set. But it seems to me this might either go towards Mission. Mission has picked up rather interesting mid laners as well, aside from the mages. So this would be not a different shift, like a big change. Berjaya though, opting for this Gragas instead.
All right, so the Gragas is going to be locked in here for Enzo. A little bit of a change up. We'll see how this one's going to pan out here as we go into our second ban phase. And Koala actually drawing a ban here on that Thresh.
And I mean, well-deserved ban, considering he had a lot of key death sentences, and it will enable that really scary lane, considering that you also have that Rek'Sai. So that means Machi will continually dive. So what would be the next ban? Either a Nautilus, which is quite scary as well. It does enable an early aggressive lane paired with the Rek'Sai ganks.
So we'll see here. Jace is actually going to get banned out here on the side of Machi, as maybe they saw that Jace and what it could do yesterday. And the Bard ban, actually, a couple bans being targeted toward Koala, it seems.
Yeah, Koala, his next most picked is definitely the Tahm Kench, but if they do pick that up, it doesn't exactly enable the formula that they did at game number 1. It would definitely keep Bruce safe, but when it comes to early dive, there's not a lot of heavy engage. So we'll see what Machi decides to do, as Berjaya will get that Braum once more.
Can already see it's a pretty beefy front line coming at you here with that Braum as well as that Ornn. And then you pair in that Gragas that just has a little bit of tankiness built within him, though he is going to be a little bit bursty, just trying to, disrupt some of the fights. Now for Machi, though, what are your options? You've already lost out on the Bard as well as the Thresh, and that Braum being taken off the table. What does Koala wish to bring out? And we could be seeing a Rakan.
This is actually pretty interesting. With Machi on the Rakan, okay, you don't have the Nautilus, okay, that's fine. But the engage is actually really, really good. You start with either Gemini charging in, and then you have Koala leap there and get that knock up nearby and get in range, actually. So, but now Corki is still going to be for mission.
All right, so Corki is going to get locked in once again for mission. I have to say I wasn't a huge fan coming into the series with the Corki picks, but actually he showed off pretty well in that mid lane, so I'll give it to him as that's going to get locked in. And now for Berjaya, that does allow Mawon to have a full counter pick available, and squeaking down the time as much as possible, it seems here. It's going to be the Pantheon lock-in.
This is great. This is actually really, really great. So this forces Mission to be a little bit careful when it came to lane in comparison to where they always managed to get priority pushing Mawon as a Syndra. So this will be a little bit different now, as Mission will be wary for potential ganks and as well as potential bursts coming from this champion, and he's going to be carrying an Ignite as well.
I'll see. Yeah, Ignite going to be on there for the Pantheon. So we did see, though, the Pantheon yesterday in the matches between Talon and Nova. And to say the very least, the Pantheon can have mixed results. It can be an absolute monster that's all over the map, absolutely destroying the side lanes and getting ahead, or it could be a Pantheon that ults maybe 10 feet in front of him. There is the, mirror opposites when it comes to these Pantheon picks up. From now on, you're putting a lot of trust into him to, try and assist out, but when you kind of look at the composition on the side of Berjaya Dragons, there isn't necessarily a heavy bruiser like an Aatrox that's going to be trying to, go in for the dive. It's an Ornn that you're going to be trying to get ahead. So it could have mixed results. The side of Machi, though, we've seen how predictable Pantheons can be when it comes to pathing, so I think Gemini might be able to lock him down.
I agree. And it's one of those things where you gotta think about the timing. Are they going to be more reactive? Are they going to be proactive? Will they be the ones starting the fights? And it is possible, especially with this Gragas pickup. Really strong level 3 as well. Coincides perfectly with the level 3 of Pantheon. So for Mission, with carrying only a single summoner spell for the laning phase, I think maybe the Berjaya Dragons might want to take advantage of that.
Immediately, a bunch of pings coming out here as Koala got tagged there by Chili. So it's just a line of scrimmage set across the map for both sides. We'll see where everyone wishes to start. Gemini was able to strike first in game 1. I'm interested to see whether or not he tries to go again toward that bot lane around that level 2, level 3. For Enzo in particular, too, he's going to be on likely, well, how we saw him, a slow clear. Especially in game 1 where he decided to clear up the top side of his map. Or are we just going to see like a very delayed invade?
A lot of still lingering around. Looks like that would be the case.
Going that old, very late invade as Koala is going to get tagged. He should be fine. He is going to have to use his grand entrance to get himself to safety, as Berjaya able to get the successful invade, it seems, here, as that's going to force Gemini to go toward the top side of the map, and we're going to have a bit of vertical jungling as he's going to be owning the top side.
Yep, and that would be the response for Gemini here. And with that said, my bad. Well, not exactly my bad. Mawon switched up to that teleport instead of the Ignite, so that's going to be double global presence on this Pantheon. Just in case you've already used your ult, at least you have that teleport to fall back into. Also, it enables an early level 3 teleport, if ever, coming from the side of Berjaya, and that's probably the reason why there is a ward over there at that brush, just in case Machi Esports decides to be a little bit advanced.
You can already see there's some tags coming out there as Chili was trying to get a bit aggressive, and it's going to be Mawon actually getting a quick ward down, so they're going to be able to see Gemini if he decides to try and at least equal out the buff for buff and try and, clear out the top side of the map here. on the side of Berjaya as Enzo looking to possibly go for a dive, but he is spotted out there on top of a ward, so be a little tussle over the Krugs here, it seems, as Bruce is actually going to get that. So a little extra gold for him on the AD carry, but Chili and K2 are going to advance on forward. A nice engage coming out. Koala is able to eat up a bit of the damage. Is going to get stunned up underneath the tower. It's going to be a teleport for a teleport. A 4v4 in the bot lane. A very late teleport coming out also on the side of Machi. Bruce is still alive though underneath the tower, and Enzo is going to get taken down. That's first blood going on over to Mission. He's going to get himself a double kill on the Corgi.
Oh no, we did mention that it enables a level 3 teleport when you don't have your ult just yet, but unfortunately that dive didn't go so well for Berjaya Dragons, and giving an early 2 kills as well for Mission, this is definitely not according to plan.
And there you go. They did at least get to take down Bruce in the very end of that fight, but he almost survived. So it all starts off with that late ward that came out from the bot side to catch out these Krugs being taken.
Yep, and of course, assuming that it's going to be a vertical jungle, you're going to assume that at that time you don't have the enemy jungle nearby, so this is the perfect time to dive. Unfortunately, though, they weren't able to finish the targets in time. Enzo had to tag a lot of tower hits in this one.
And you saw there, up toward the top side of the map, it did not look like that Ozzy was able to actually interrupt that teleport coming out from PK. PK, though, wasn't really super impactful when it came from that teleport, so nothing really lost for him, but it's still going to be about a 500 gold lead in favor of Machi.
And I believe the plan was for Enzo. He was supposed to get level 3 on the Krugs and then gank. Unfortunately, I believe he was just level 2 at that time, so the full combo was not available. At least you had Mao on level 3 to get that easy stun in and the combo as well. Unfortunately, again, Bruce survived too long. And with that tier already going to be early, when he stacked early rather for Mission.
Meanwhile, Gemini maybe looking for a back here. Does he actually spot this out, though, as they're looking to move through his jungle? Actually able to just keep pace here as Enzo wants to go for another dive on this Gragas. It's going to be Koala just trying to body block here. That's 4 members. A 3-man knockup's going to come out from that bullet time. They jump in onto Bruce, but Bruce is doing just fine here. Enzo almost gets taken down, and this is Berjaya trying to be as gutsy as possible, still not able to find the kill.
And now they have to wait for another wave to come.
Gonna try and get in onto that Rakan, and there it is. Chili's gonna get taken down though to the tower shot. Oh no, K2 was able to take it, but here comes Mission over toward the side, flashing on forward, not able to find the kill. Enzo though gets taken down, and it is just utter chaos in the bot lane.
Bruce right now can't catch a break, as well as the AD carry, as well as K2. It's not stopping as Gemini is searching for another potential kill, another potential knockup. Let's take a look at this again. Gemini matched this one as Enzo. They're finding the right target. They were still waiting around. So Koala pulled the trigger instead and got a triple man knockup, and that's the reason why this fight started.
Yeah, you saw there, Bruce, he did get stunned up, but Bruce was able to survive because of this Rakan running actually the Guardian for a majority of these fights. Is able to, soak up some damage. Unfortunately, he just gets bursted when he's not careful.
Yep, and that's going to be quite easily taken by Berjaya Dragons. But again, Mission didn't even have level 6 at the time, wasn't even needed. And that's 3 kills already for Mission.
Yeah, this Corki's been accelerated here. Unfortunately, Malon hasn't been able to get any kills. The kills got shared between Ezreal and the Gragas. It's not the end of the world here for Machi, especially on Bruce, though he is down in CS. Machi still not afraid to go for these objectives. Another teleport. Here we go. Electric Boogaloo. It's going to be the dragon secured on the side of Machi. Gemini trying to get over the wall. Gets another knock up there. Going to use the blasting code to get over towards safety. And Ozzy, he actually had himself the Bellows Breath, so he didn't go over the wall. Meanwhile, Bruce now into the 1v1. He got exhausted by K2. And it is going to be dragon secured by Machi, but Bruce is forced to back once again.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Bruce is not having the best lane right now, considering that Berjaya Dragons will constantly keep pressuring, and I believe it's the right move, because you're forcing Gemini to not make moves around the map, and you're just forcing him to try to match Enzo at this point. And earlier for Mawan, he used his ult at the Dragon Pit, and unfortunately Gemini can just slip easily, and therefore I feel like the reason why Gemini managed to escape is because of Mawan's his presence was not there.
Bruce is going to get back into lane now, sitting at only 28 CS. This is the roughest lane I think we've seen Bruce have to deal with here, as it has been just a tent set up from the side of Enzo. He has gone toward the top side of the map, so that does give a little bit of breathing room here for the bot lane of Machi, but still, I'm liking it. This is almost a mirror of what we saw at the beginning of the split from Berjaya, where they weren't afraid to go for these crazy 3-4-man dives. To see it, though, almost 2 to 3 times back-to-back, though, is a bit, more of a questionable call coming out from the squad.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it produces results and where Gemini doesn't have full control as he has to match Enzo. But now since the level 6 has started to pop up for most of these members, we're just waiting on the bot side of the map, and I feel like that's where the action is gonna start once more, as it's gonna time perfectly for the teleports to come up for both Mawan and Mission.
Oh, Mission, gotta be a little bit careful. You do have an end zone nearby. Predator is available, but he's not gonna pull the trigger just yet. It's Chili and K2 go back toward the mid lane from toward the bot side. That's going to be Machi actually going back to base here, it seems, as they just want a little bit of lots of peace and quiet, some tranquility possibly for this bot lane, as it has been just utter mayhem at the start of game 2.
Yeah, not being able to get a complete, one part complete of an item, at least after back. It's all just one of these pieces. And now Rift Herald, though, will be spotted by Berjaya. Berjaya's vision control, though, I gotta commend them with how much they're getting information on where Gemini is at the moment. But it all comes down to priority, and Machi Esports decides to take it anyway despite getting spotted.
Enzo gonna pop the Predator coming around side. Meanwhile, Mission in mid lane has to be a bit careful. A nice little sidestep there from the Q. Has package available if he wants to try and go in for this fight. 1500 when it comes to the Rift Herald. It is gonna get secured though by Enzo. Does Machi try and at least respond? Bruce is down in the bot lane though, farming away, so looks like Machi not comfortable going for the 4v5.
And the question was, when it came to this matchup, will Berjaya able to break that confidence barrier when it comes to facing the top teams in the PCS? And it's looking really solid right now for Berjaya. Machi Esports, especially coming after that win, really sort of threw them off guard at the moment. So Berjaya doing a good job even getting that Rift Herald and challenging Gemini when it comes to the rotations.
Rift Herald in hand now for Enzo if he wishes to try and find a place on the map and put that one down. Mission going to go ahead and continue just to clear out this mid lane here on the Corki, as he's already looking into his Muramana stacks. Also sitting on a call there. 10.5 minutes. Still only about 1,000 gold lead here from Machi after all the chaos starts to die down.
Yeah, and I think the scariest part is the early kills coming from Mission. I mean, earlier on, it was definitely Gemini that shined.
Oh, this is unfortunate here. He's going to get knocked up. He's just, oh my god, he can't get a break. Can't even flash away. It's on cooldown, and that's going to be a quick kill going on over to the Aatrox, getting him online.
Oof, that is, again, we've seen how... Oh, no.
Enzo's down in this bot lane. No, he's going to put down the Rift Herald as well. Wants this tower. K2 almost gets taken out there by the tower, but he'll be safe for now, and that does mean some extra gold funneled on to the Ezreal.
Bruce can't catch a break in this lane, and earlier on it was K2. Oh, Mawan.
Still has flash available.
Flash.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take our look here toward the top lane.
So, yeah, this is quite unfortunate. PK, Gemini, quite sneaky, so there was not at all any sort of vision towards that tri-brush, so Gemini managed to sneakily make his way.
Walla, maybe looking for a re-engage. Gemini's coming down the river, a decent amount of damage there onto Enzo, and that might be the call there, as Gemini not gonna go for the tunnel, but that does mean with Enzo at about half health, they may decide, hey, we want to try and go for this dragon, or they might be looking for a dive here once Enzo goes back.
And that is the dragon as well. And I believe Berjaya Dragons want to take advantage of the of the globals coming from Mawan, and for Mission, he consumed the teleport just to go back in lane. So Berjaya Dragons thought of it as an opportunity to take advantage of that and make it a instant 4v2 at the bottom side of the map. Unfortunately, it didn't work out very well, and with that, they have to concede as the dragon has been taken once more by Machi.
Still gonna hard press in toward this bot lane tower, and with this, that should be K2 getting first brick gold onto this Ezreal. A nice little chunk of gold into his back pocket as he tries to accelerate. We're gonna deny a minion or two. So there we go, Berjaya with that first tower taken, still only behind by about 400 gold behind Machi.
Yeah, it's not a lot, and it's one of those things where Berjaya Dragons with that early game, you denied two things. You denied the early roam coming from Koala, and as well as Gemini having to focus the other lanes aside from bot, and it forced to do something at Enzo, with Enzo. But the problem was Mission getting those early kills. I think that was really the unfortunate exchange with Berjaya Dragons' plan.
Yeah, because Mawan, unfortunately, other than the two roams we've seen, he's been kind of stuck into the lane now, even getting poked out a couple times. His Mission is just going to walk back from base, still a level up. So he himself is sitting on a 30 CS advantage over this Pantheon, and unfortunately for Mawan, you maybe want to see him be a little bit more proactive on the map. He is nearby, though, with Chili and Enzo, so we'll see whether or not they decide to, as Chili is sitting nearby. Mission's just going to back off.
I think that is the predictable part about having a Pantheon. It's quite linear, so you can predict how he's going to approach you unless he suddenly flashes or comes out of nowhere by visiting a lane. But the thing is, Mission does have that Valkyrie to just widen the gap, and I think that is what is happening in the lane, so you really are going to be reliant on that jungler.
In comes that Pantheon. A beautiful knockup, though, comes out from Koala to actually interrupt the combo. K2 wants to try and go for this fight, but he doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Now Mission and Gemini coming through the river. It's going to be a 4v4 in the bot lane. Bruce taking a little bit of damage, but will be fine as he backs off. Still waiting for his first item on this Misfortune, but unfortunately, plan doesn't go in favor of Berjaya, and that's going to force two of the members to have to back off. Now the engage comes through onto this dive. Bullet time is there, and that's going to force Chili to have to go golden. Mission looking to finish off the kill, not able to find it, though, as Mawan still a little hesitant to try and jump in onto one of these carries of Machi.
Yeah, and with that, at least you have Chili safe. It was the right call for Machi to be aggressive, considering that K2 didn't have mana at that time as well. And in the meantime, while everyone was busy at the bot side of the map, we had Gemini just chunking down the tower of Mawan in the mid lane.
Yeah, so Gemini's going to be happy getting a little bit of damage here. Actually going to go rather aggressive. Finds the knock-up immediately onto Enzo. Enzo not pulling the trigger, though, on his explosive cast. We're going to go ahead and take a look at replay down towards this bot lane range.
Yeah, even though we saw Mawan had that advantage to get into the lane quicker than his counterpart, the problem was that was a beautiful knockup by Koala, just denying the engage and really bought some time. So when they saw Mission arrive already, okay, this is not going to work. We don't have the numbers advantage anymore. It's quite equal.
Well, though, on your live feed, it is going to be Machi starting up this Rift Herald, and it was so close to getting a double kill here, though, as forces Ozzy have to back off and Chili to go golden. Meanwhile, fight breaks out immediately. Chili almost gets taken down here as he puts up the shield. Now into a 4v5 as Chili not able to do a whole lot. PK, though, going to get chunked down here pretty low as K2 able to find a nice push off Mirage. Enzo, though, gets taken down immediately. Now onto K2 they go as Mission flashing off forward. That Corki is huge. Now finds himself a quick double kill off this Rift Herald fight. Gemini going to also add on to his tally. And that's going to be 3 kills for none as Machi now look to push in the first tier tower in mid lane with the Rift Herald.
That was a beautiful package, I gotta say. It denies any sort of re-engage from Berjaya Dragons, as they only had one choice but to move forward, blocking that path, and Ozzy had to burn through all of that and suffer and fall. And Machi had to be rewarded with so many things, getting that break on 2 towers from in the mid lane and as well as that Rift Herald. So Berjaya Dragons not able to make this early game Pantheon work.
Now, unfortunately, that now opens up almost a 4,000 gold lead here from Machi, all starting off the second Rift Herald fight.
And I want to take a look at that package again. So Chili was just chunked so much as the damage was focused on him. So with that, it's technically a 4v5 already, as Chili just really wanted to go back. And at this point, that is a package. You saw Enzo wanting to initiate, and it was Enzo that fall. It wasn't Ozzy. And with that, K2 didn't have anywhere to go anymore.
And it goes once again as Koala goes in for the engage. Call the Foregone, though, going to be used immediately in mission. Bullet time rains through, and they trade 1-for-1. Corky going to get taken down, but here comes PK on top of Enzo. Unfortunately, he's got nowhere to run. He'll get taken down. Aim goes Bruce, though, and he gets himself to safety in behind the help of his teammates. Gemini using the ultimate. It's a double kill now for this Aatrox. Gets another reset, and that's going to force K2 to have to back off.
Mission died on that fight, so that's a pretty good cash in from the Berjaya Dragons. But then again, there is still someone to worry about, and that is Bruce here on this Misfortune. So even though they've managed to eliminate Mission off the fight, they still have a huge problem, which is Bruce. And as we can see, that's a 3-0-2 Aatrox already. So Berjaya has a lot of problems to count in this game.
Yeah, you're now starting to hit some item spikes. That poor Orange still has yet to get an upgrade for his team, as we're not even at 20 minutes. Take a look here. They get the engage on Mission, but he's able to Valkyrie with the buffer and then Koala with the engage.
And that's an Oranhorn placed towards Mission. So everyone, Berjaya, just wanted to get that cash in, get that kill at least, as they've invested so much. Now, the fight has been split into two. PK managed to eliminate Enzo, and Mao and K2 quite low already and losing their front line. Therefore, they have no choice but to concede the fight.
You saw there Bruce almost got taken down, but was able to find safety in behind his teammates, so K2 wasn't able to finish him off. This Misfortune also now starting to come online, has finished off the Essence Reaver and starting to work towards the Infinity Edge, so those bullet times are going to do a bunch of damage, and you saw Chili isn't able to get that shield up in the correct direction. It will cost the team dearly, as now Machi sit with the game in hand at a 5,000 gold lead.
And it's starting to look a little bit familiar on the previous game with Machi being full control. A big difference is definitely one of those things where Berjaya was very proactive at the beginning. It's just quite unfortunate that Mission got all the kills as well. So now that they are at that point where they can fight 5v5, or they want to fight 5v5, Mission just deals a huge chunk, considering Muramana, again, fully stacked with the Triforce, is just very painful.
A lot they can do. It's going to be Ozzy at least trying to intercept this wave, but you can see here, gold heavily in favor of Mission, and it's going to be PK actually going for this 1v1 in the bot lane. Enzo's going to try and make it a 2v1, gets the slow down, but PK is trying to just delay this at this point. Enzo wants to try and go for this fight, but in comes the rest of the squad. He's going to get taken down, and Bruce finds himself another kill on this Misfortune, and with the wave, should be able to take down the second tier tower.
That is, whoa. Machi Esports, again, we did mention full control over the map. It's starting to be a little bit familiar. Coming from game number 1, they have a lot of wards to work with as well in the enemy jungle.
Oh, engage Koala, nice engage. Once again, gets the knock up. Bruce able to take him down off the bullet time. 3-1 and 6 now in this Misfortune, even though Machi were heavily dived consistently in this bot lane. They have been able to turn it around here, and at 21 minutes are going to be cracking open a mid lane inhibitor.
Imagine, even the second banning phase too, Berjaya focused on Koala, and he's still rocking here on the Rakan, and at that point, for Berjaya, it's defense mode, as Baron would be the next target for Machi.
7,000 gold lead, as Ozzy still isn't even level 13, so he can't go for the free upgrades just yet for his squad. And Machi not afraid to put the pedal to the metal, knowing that they need to end this game as quick as possible before the scaling kicks back in for Berjaya as we take a look towards that bot lane fight.
And over for PK, just had to buy some time, as Enzo had to move a little bit forward. And the thing was, I don't think no one can really deal with PK right now. That's the reason why I can buy a lot of time. Usually, the first item, one of the first items would appear and have the executioners, but if someone buys that, that would really delay their spike, especially when it came to K2. But now Berjaya, we'll see if we're gonna see any party brushes in towards this game.
What's a surprise party right now? Mission has a 4,000 gold lead over the Pantheon on this Corki. Mission does a decent amount of damage on the Corki, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit scary what this Corki can now do, especially to like members like this Ornn that's still, you know, just trying to build up some MR as it's a hybrid damage coming out from the Corki, and they do at least get the Ornn back to safety. Package though in hand here for Mission, and they're also looking at Infernal Soul here in 50 seconds as Berjaya have to back off.
Again, a lot of respect. They don't have, they're not ready just yet, considering K2 hasn't stacked up Muramana just yet. And with that, it's all about getting that defense on when it comes to trying to slow down the game. At least you have that Hulk, and have to rely on Enzo for the wave clear, I suppose. But at the same time, yeah, Infernal Drake gonna be coming up soon, and for Berjaya, it's looking really grim.
They're looking a little bit grim here in this game. Honestly, for Machi, you're just trying to end this now in the next about 7 to 10 minutes while you have this advantage. The Infernal Soul going to add on to the damage, and for poor Berjaya, they kind of have to now look at this and say, what are we willing to lose? What are we willing to gain? Drop Barrage is going to be there, but unfortunately way too late. Gemini able to secure the Soul, and now Berjaya trying to go for this fight, but that's a huge amount of damage coming out from Mission, able to instantly delete this poor Gragas. Bruce is going to get piled on, but still, it's 4 members for 1, as that's going to be Mission picking up a quadra kill. Is he looking for the Penta? No, he's looking for the Nexus.
He's looking for the game right now, as Cage is the only one left to defend. He's still pretty healthy, but Machi, again, has managed... He wants the Penta!
Mission looking for it. Gemini also coming over towards the side. K2's just trying to deny it. But meanwhile, it's going to be the Aatrox whacking away on the Nexus towers. And with that, oh, Mission's still looking for it. He's tunneling in. They could have ended the game if he didn't tunnel in for this Penta that's now dissipated. Does Mission at least get his delayed Penta? He might be able to find it here. K2, though, turn this one back around if he's not too careful. In goes Mission. There's your delayed Penta for the Corki. It looks like Machi just playing with their food right now as they're ahead by 10,000 gold.
Okay, let's take a look at that fight again, because Mission was untouched the whole time in that fight. And at that point, the target for Berjaya was definitely towards Bruce. And with that, they managed to succeed with their mission. Unfortunately, Mission is still alive. And look at the calls here. They teleported to end the game, but you saw Mission go back. He's like, okay, let's get that pentakill.
Oh boy, so a pentakill, a delayed pentakill, a little bit more worthwhile it seems here for Mission than taking home game 2, I guess. Machi though off the next team fight should be able to end it for Berjaya. The target selection, there's 2 threats on the map, and unfortunately they tunnel in onto Bruce when Mission is the major carry now for Machi. True Shot Barrage comes through, cuts in onto the Rift Herald. Machi, though, maybe looking to turn back on toward Chili, as Chili's going to take a decent amount of damage. That's the shield already used. Malon gets absolutely obliterated as Mission is dominating. And like that, Machi turn back toward the Baron.
And that's 2 members focusing on Baron right now. Machi able to scare off the rest of the members of Berjaya, and they will continue their onslaught towards the base of the Dragons. And well, K2, he's already reached his spike actually, but unfortunately it's a bit too late already with 11-1-2 on Mission on this Corki.
Yeah, you can see Mission, he's just going to walk up and just take that tower instantly, as no one can really do a thing about this Corki anymore. 11-1-2 has his Infinity Edge, got his back here, he's also got the Trinity Force. He's an absolute monster. Inhibitor in mid lane is going to get taken down, as well as the one in top lane. Final push going to come on through on the side of Machi. In comes the Pantheon Ultimate, going to try and turn this one back around. Bruce is going to get taken down into the back line, but still, guess what? Mission is still there. He doesn't care. He's the Corki. The crazy man on a dog is godlike at this point. It's 20-5. And with that, Machi, again, a very quick game too, as they look to secure the series in the final game, possibly in game 3.
That is the strongest Corki we've ever seen. The most monstrous Corki we've ever seen in the entirety of PCS, and Mission managed to make it work. I mean, Berjaya had a plan. They wanted to throw off Gemini and towards the jungle by focusing more on bot side. Also, it's two birds in one stone. You deny Koala's roam, he's forced to stay there and guard Bruce, and you deny Bruce's growth as well. The unfortunate thing is, though, Mission got a lot of kills out of that. I feel like it would have gone better if there was no exchange, but that's the story. Mission got ahead, and he was even godlike at the end of the match.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do when the Corki gets, 10, 1, and 5, and then is hunting down pentakills rather than finishing the game. I think that at that point, that's a summary of that. This game's done. There isn't a whole lot we're going to be able to do to come back there, and you saw that final stand come out. They kept targeting Bruce, which I didn't understand, because Bruce actually, didn't do any damage comparatively to Mission, who was an absolute maniac. Let's take a look toward one of those team fights in the mid lane.
And this is one of the things where they really heavily focused on Mission. It's just that they invested so much. So when they wanted to finish off Bruce at that time, there wasn't much left to begin with. And, PK did an amazing job zoning out Enzo as well. So the carries, Mawan and K2, didn't have much of a front line anymore to make this work. And K2 at this time hasn't reached his spike just yet. I believe he was just sitting on a 1 item, and it's not fully stacked just yet. So it was too late when K2 reached his 2 item power spike.
And with that, it's a under 27-minute game coming out from Machi. This is them really rolling through here as they take on Berjaya Dragons, who now only have 1 game left to try and tie up this series, try and force the reverse sweep in their favor. But still, I think Machi are looking to already get the broom out and ready and look to dust this one off pretty fast and call it an early night.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at Berjaya, at least they managed to break down that barrier of confidence when it comes to facing the top teams. They were very aggressive. They were not reactive when it came to the early game at game 2. Problem is, after this defeat, it's that big question of, will they be able to get back up after this very dominant performance from Machi?
Yeah, because unfortunately here for Berjaya, something's got to change. I don't know what that plan is. Whether or not they're going to say, hey, Mawan, we're going to sub you out, bring in Minji. Maybe Minji has been fitting the compositions a little bit better. Maybe that's going to be their answer, because Mission in both games was an absolute monster. MVP, I am totally on board with this. Koala had an insane Recon game.
Yeah, denied a lot of the heavy engage coming from Berjaya Dragons, managed to get that knock up. So there's not a lot of full combos against Bruce to just try to burst him down. So, and the thing is, during the draft, they removed the Thresh, removed the Bard even, and then Koala is like, no problem, I can play Rakan pretty well too. So it's one of those things where, is there no champion that he can't play properly?
Yeah, that's the question. He's now, I don't know what you can do. I don't think you can try and ban out Koala, because he's just a disgusting monster on now both the Thresh as well as now the Rakan. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is here for Berjaya, but they got to come up with something really fast, because unfortunately, if they lose the next game, it will be a quick 3-0 coming out from Machi.
I really think Berjaya has it in them. They had a plan. They have a plan already. It was supposed to work. It's just the execution that was lacking. So if ever they want to replicate what they wanted to do earlier, then perhaps, not allow Mission to do the roam and get 3 kills early into the game.
Well, we'll have to see. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, it could possibly be our final game of the night as Machi look to close out the series.